Hi, my name is Goldman. I'm the Director and Founder of Goldman and Associates. Our firm has a primary focus on family law issues, so please subscribe to our channel. Today, I want to talk about the presence of the prenuptial agreement as it relates to the divorce. In other words, parties signed a prenuptial agreement, they got married, everything worked out, now there's a divorce. So what happens? I mean, what role does the prenup play? What is the interplay between the divorce proceedings we have now and the fact that you have a prenup? Well, it's a very good question. Here's the answer. Unlike movies that you see on TV, Bonfire, The Vanities, different movies that they are where they all talk about lawyers and how they handle the prenup, there is no ironclad prenup in Michigan as it relates to enforcement. And what I mean by that is the prenup is a contract between the parties, but the courts in Michigan have the discretion to enforce all of it or part of it as fairness dictates. So just because you have a prenup does not necessarily mean that every single thing in the prenup is going to be followed. Now, the court will try to honor the contractual agreement of the parties and to have it work as the parties agreed, but it doesn't necessarily mean that circumstances won't be analyzed to determine whether or not it's fair. So, for example, a prenup may say, if we get divorced, this is the level of support you get, and that's it. However, the court may find that that level of support may not be adequate because the person last year developed some horrible disease and now needs full-time care and this and that, and the other party can afford it, and maybe there should be a bump in the amount of money being paid, a bump upwards. So in that situation, the court has a certain amount of discretion. What will happen is you need to advise your lawyer, I'm getting divorced, there is the prenup, here it is. And your lawyer has to know that it's there, and it has to be in play. It has to be part of the discussion. But you as the client, you got to understand that just because it's there doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be followed to a T. Even with the best representation and the best lawyering, the court ultimately has discretion. And that means that the guy with the black robe is going to decide whether it's fair. And if he or she decides not, then you're going to see a modification between the prenup and what actually happens. If you have any questions about that, reach out and we'll be glad to help you out.